There is a $2 fix that makes babies fall asleep faster. Not slightly faster, noticeably faster. Parents who try it for the first time almost always say the same thing. They cannot believe it actually worked. It does not require any special equipment. It does not require you to change your baby's feeding schedule. It does not require sleep training or letting your baby cry. It takes about 10 minutes. It uses something you already have in your home right now. Pediatric researchers have studied it. The mechanism behind it is well understood by sleep scientists. And a meta-analysis of 13 human studies confirmed that it works consistently across different ages and different people. The baby product industry sells you sound machines, smart bassinets, and vibrating sleep aids to solve the exact problem this $2 fix solves for free. This is the story of the simplest, most overlooked sleep tool for babies, and why it works every single time when you use it correctly. To understand why this fix works, you need to understand one thing about how sleep starts in the human body. Sleep does not begin in the brain. It begins with temperature. Your core body temperature needs to drop before your brain can enter sleep. This is not a theory. It is one of the most well-established facts in sleep science. In adults, the body begins dropping its core temperature in the early evening as a signal that sleep is approaching. That temperature drop triggers the release of melatonin, which is the hormone that tells the brain it is time to sleep. The two processes are linked. Temperature down, melatonin up, sleep begins. This same mechanism works in babies. In fact, it works even more powerfully in babies because their thermoregulation system is still developing, and their bodies respond more dramatically to temperature changes than adult bodies do. When a baby's core temperature drops, the brain receives a strong, clear signal. Sleep now. And the baby falls asleep faster. Here is the $2 fix. A warm bath, given 60 to 90 minutes before bedtime, followed by a cool room. That is it. The warm water raises the baby's skin temperature. Blood vessels near the surface of the skin open up to release heat. When the baby comes out of the bath and is dried off, the body begins releasing that heat rapidly into the cooler air of the room. The core body temperature drops. The brain reads that drop as a sleep signal. Melatonin rises. The baby becomes drowsy faster than it would have without the bath. And when you put the baby down in a dark, cool room with a fan running, the conditions are perfectly aligned with what the body is already doing biologically. The bath does not force sleep. It works with the body's own sleep system to make sleep happen faster and more smoothly. Researchers analyzed 13 human studies on warm baths and sleep onset. The conclusion was clear. A warm bath taken 1 to 2 hours before bedtime significantly improved how fast people fell asleep. The researchers identified the optimal timing as between 60 and 90 minutes before sleep. That window gives the body enough time to complete the heat release process and achieve the temperature drop that triggers sleep. Too close to bedtime and the body is still warm. Too far before bedtime and the temperature drop has already passed. 60 to 90 minutes is the sweet spot. The same timing applies to babies. Now here is where the story gets more interesting. And here is where the $2 come in. A warm bath on its own is already effective. But adding lavender-scented bath oil to that bath makes it significantly more effective. And a small bottle of lavender bath oil costs about $2 at any pharmacy, supermarket, or online store. Researchers studied what happens when lavender bath oil is added to a baby's bath. The results were striking. The mothers in the lavender group were more relaxed, smiled more, and touched their babies more during the bath. Their babies looked at them more, cried less, and spent significantly more time in deep sleep after the bath. The cortisol levels of both the mothers and the babies dropped significantly. Cortisol is the body's primary stress hormone. When cortisol drops, the nervous system relaxes. When the nervous system relaxes, sleep comes faster and goes deeper. The reason lavender has this effect is not mysterious. Lavender contains a natural compound that interacts with receptors in the brain, responsible for regulating anxiety and arousal. It produces a mild calming effect on the nervous system. This is not a folk remedy. The calming properties of lavender have been confirmed in multiple studies and are well documented. For a baby whose nervous system is still developing and who is highly sensitive to sensory input, Even a small amount of lavender scent during a warm bath can meaningfully reduce the arousal level before sleep. The baby product industry has built an entire category around this knowledge: lavender baby washes, lavender baby lotions, lavender baby sprays, lavender sleep sachets, lavender diffusers designed specifically for nurseries. These products range from $8 to $60. Some of them are pleasant. None of them are more effective than $2 worth of lavender bath oil, added to a warm bath 60 to 90 minutes before bedtime. The active ingredient is the same. The mechanism is the same. The price is the only thing that is different. Before we get to the timing, there is something worth understanding about why so many parents try a warm bath and think it does not work. They try it once. The baby does not fall asleep noticeably faster. They conclude that the bath does not help their baby, and they go back to whatever they were doing before. The problem is not that the bath does not work. The problem is that a single night is not enough to see the full effect. Your baby's brain builds sleep associations over time. The first night you use a warm bath as part of a consistent routine, the brain registers it. The second night, the association gets a little stronger. By the third or fourth night, the brain has begun to connect the bath with what comes next. By the end of the first week, the bath has become a reliable sleep signal. The drowsiness starts earlier in the routine. The transition to sleep gets faster. This is the same principle that makes any consistent bedtime routine more effective over time. The bath is not a one-night trick. It is a signal that gets stronger every time you use it. Give it a week before you judge whether it is working. Now, here is something that most parents never think about, and it is the part that makes the biggest difference between a bath that helps and a bath that does not help. The timing of the bath matters more than almost anything else. Most parents give their baby a bath as part of a bedtime routine, but they do it right before putting the baby down. They finish the bath, dry the baby, do a quick feed, and then put the baby in the crib. That sequence means the baby goes into the crib while the body is still warm from the bath. The temperature drop has not happened yet. The sleep signal has not fired. The baby lies in the crib awake and alert, and the parents wonder why the bath did not seem to help. The fix is simple. Move the bath earlier. Give the bath 60 to 90 minutes before you want the baby to be asleep. Use that window for a quiet feed, a gentle massage, and calm, low stimulation time. By the time you put the baby down, the temperature drop has already happened, the melatonin signal is already rising, and the baby is already becoming drowsy. The bath did its job. You just gave it enough time to do it. If you have made it this far, you already understand more about your baby's sleep biology than most parents ever learn. Subscribe and share this with another tired parent who needs to hear it. Everything in this video is backed by real research. The next video is coming soon. There is one more layer to this that is worth understanding. The warm bath, the lavender, and the timing all work on the baby's nervous system directly. But there is a second effect that is just as important. The bath works on you. Research found that mothers who used lavender bath oil showed lower cortisol levels and were more relaxed during the bath. That matters because babies are extraordinarily sensitive to the emotional state of the person holding them. When you are tense, anxious, or stressed, your baby feels it. Your heart rate, your muscle tension, the way you hold and move, all of it communicates your state to the baby. A baby being put to bed by a tense parent takes longer to settle than a baby being put to bed by a calm one. The warm bath and the lavender scent calm both of you at the same time. You become more relaxed. Your baby feels that relaxation. The whole bedtime process becomes smoother. This is not a small effect. It is one of the most consistent findings in infant sleep research. The emotional state of the caregiver directly influences how quickly and easily the baby falls asleep. There is another dimension to this that goes beyond the bath itself, and this is something that most sleep advice for parents completely ignores. The time at which you give the bath and the time at which you put your baby down to sleep matters more than most parents realize. Research tracking the sleep of infants found that babies who fell asleep earlier in the evening slept longer overall during the night. The researchers found that keeping infants up later in hopes of them sleeping in longer may actually be counterproductive. An earlier bedtime, combined with a consistent pre-sleep routine, was associated with longer total nighttime sleep. This is because of how the circadian rhythm works. Babies are born without a functioning circadian rhythm. It develops gradually over the first few months of life, guided primarily by the light and dark cycle of the environment. As the rhythm develops, the brain begins producing melatonin in the early evening when light levels drop. That melatonin window is the biological opening for sleep. If you try to put your baby to sleep before the melatonin window opens, the baby is not biologically ready and will resist. If you try to put your baby to sleep after the melatonin window has passed, the body has already moved past its optimal sleep onset moment, and the baby becomes overtired, which paradoxically makes it harder to fall asleep. The warm bath, given 60 to 90 minutes before the target sleep time, works best when that target sleep time is aligned with the baby's natural melatonin window. For most babies between 2 and 6 months, that window falls between 7 and 9 in the evening. Watching for sleepy cues, which include rubbing eyes, yawning, staring blankly, and reduced activity, helps you identify when your specific baby's window is opening. The bath should start about 60 to 90 minutes before those cues typically appear. Now let us talk about what to do with the rest of the bedtime window, the 60 to 90 minutes between the bath and sleep. This window is not dead time. It is the most important part of the bedtime routine. What you do in this window either supports the sleep signal that the bath started, or it works against it. Bright lights work against it. Screens work against it. Loud sounds work against it. Active play works against it. All of these things raise arousal levels and push the baby's nervous system back toward wakefulness at exactly the moment you want it moving toward sleep. What supports the sleep signal is dim light, quiet sounds, gentle physical contact, and calm interaction. A brief, gentle massage after the bath is one of the most effective things you can do in this window. Research has confirmed that a nightly massage as part of the bedtime routine improved sleep markers for both infants and their mothers. The massage does not need to be long or technical. 5 minutes of gentle stroking on the baby's back, legs, and arms is enough. It lowers cortisol, increases a bonding hormone called oxytocin, and adds another layer of physical calm to the nervous system that the bath already started relaxing. Here is exactly what to do starting tonight. Give your baby a warm bath 60 to 90 minutes before you want them to be asleep. Add 2 to 3 drops of lavender bath oil to the water. Keep the bath calm and gentle. After the bath, dry the baby in a warm towel and move to a dimly lit room. Give a brief 5-minute massage, then do a quiet feed if needed. Keep the lights low and the room quiet during the feed. After the feed, swaddle the baby if they are young enough. Check that the room is dark and the fan is running on its lowest setting, and place the baby down. By this point, the body temperature has dropped, the melatonin signal is rising. The nervous system has been calmed by the lavender and the massage, and the sleep environment is doing everything right. Most parents who follow this sequence notice a difference on the very first night. The baby falls asleep faster. There is less fussing. The transition from awake to asleep is smoother and quieter. There is one more thing worth addressing that most sleep guides never mention, and it explains why some parents follow this routine carefully and still feel like it is not working as well as it should. The issue is almost always what happens in the room after the bath. Parents do the bath correctly, they time it right, they use the lavender oil, and then they bring the baby into a brightly lit room to do the feed. Or they turn the television on in the background, or they check their phone, which lights up the room. All of these things send a signal to the baby's brain that it is not yet time to sleep. Light suppresses melatonin. Noise raises arousal. The bath started a biological process. Bright lights and stimulation interrupt that process before it can complete. The room after the bath should be as calm and dim as possible. Use a small lamp or a dim nightlight if you need to see during the feed. Keep voices low, keep movement slow. The goal is to keep the nervous system moving in the direction the bath already started it. Every element of the post-bath window either supports the sleep signal or works against it. Keeping that window calm and dark is what allows the bath to do its full job. One thing worth addressing before the practical steps is a concern some parents have about giving a bath every single night. They worry it will dry out the baby's skin. This is a valid concern, and the answer is straightforward. You do not need to use soap every night. The purpose of the nightly bath in this routine is not to clean the baby. It is to trigger the temperature drop that signals sleep. A warm water soak without soap for 5 to 10 minutes is enough to raise the skin temperature and trigger the heat release process when the baby comes out. Soap can be used 2 or 3 times per week if needed. The rest of the time, warm water alone is sufficient, and the lavender bath oil, used in small amounts, is gentle enough for daily use on most babies. If your baby has particularly sensitive skin, check with your pediatrician before using any scented product. The baby product industry has spent decades selling you the idea that getting a baby to sleep faster requires a smarter product. A vibrating bassinet, an automated rocking machine, a smart monitor that tracks every breath and sends alerts to your phone. None of those products address the biological mechanism that actually controls how fast your baby falls asleep. Temperature does. A warm bath does. $2 of lavender bath oil does. The science is clear. The mechanism is understood, and the fix has been sitting in every pharmacy and supermarket for as long as those stores have existed. Your grandmother knew this. She did not have a smart bassinet. She had a warm bath, a calm routine, and a dark room. And her babies fell asleep. The science simply confirmed what she already knew. The bath is already there. It costs $2. And tonight, it might be the thing that finally makes bedtime easy. If this video helped you, subscribe and share it with another tired parent. Every parent who finds this information is one step closer to a full night of sleep. The next video is coming soon, and what is inside is just as important as this.